Hi everyone! We're going to do a classic movie theme today. I'm a big fan of James Horner, so I thought let's do this one. I play it quite a bit anyway, so I thought I'd share it with you. So before we get started, we're in 4/4 time, which is nice and easy. It's just a 1, 2, 3, 4. That said, we've got some stripy rhythms here. So we've got not even 16th notes, my friend. We have like 32nd notes in here. So I probably won't be counting it to you unless I'm counting you in. I'll probably be using mnemonics like coffee and dumpty. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it, but just excuses first. And one other point, well, 2 other points. Let's talk about the finger picking. So we all know now I'm a bit of a finger picker. I like to go thumb, index, middle, and ring, like so, okay? I call that Pima. And because I'm a guitarist first, okay? So you don't have to do that. If ukulele is all you've ever known, then you might pick like that. You might use a pick. This is still doable with a pick. Let me grab a pick and show you. So where you've got a chord there, so all the notes are stacked one on top of the other, you could strum. And then... so it will still work with a pick, okay? I want you to feel like that's okay. It's alright if you use a pick. Everyone is welcome here. Pickers, finger pickers, we're all welcome here. Just please use the method that you would normally use. And if you have to adapt it, then that's fine. So long as it sounds like the piece, it's all that matters, and so long as you're not in pain. Final mention is that note on 3, the G, which is the same as my high G. So if you don't like the 3, you can always use the open note if you have a high G. If you have a low G, don't do it. But if you have a high one, then for instance the opening, rather than going... you could go, which you might find easier. To each his own, up to you guys. Alright, let's get started. Okay then, so straight off the bat we can see we've got 3 squiggles, or crotchet or quarter note rests. So the equivalent of going 1, 2, 3, and nothing is happening here, nothing's happening with this hand because we're resting. Okay, so we come in on the 4th beat, and we come in with a pair of quavers, and we're going to go coffee, coffee, or 4 and, if you like, if you were counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So it's an easy enough start. Remember, you could use your open note if you want to, because you might find that easier as a transition to get into F. Up to you. I'm going to follow the tab, okay? So let's just see if we can do that to start with. We're going to go from, well, we'll go from the beginning, obviously, but we want to get into an F chord. Whether you're plucking or strumming, your choice. Let's just see if we can do that little transition, okay? So I'm counting you in. This will be the rests as well, though. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then you come in on 4 and. All right, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do it again because that's quite fast. Remember as well, top tip, you can always slow these videos down. Here's the little graphic. Click the cog, playback speed 75 and you're good to go. All right, let's do it again, nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good, and if you need to rewind that and go over and over it, that's fine. If you're not too familiar with F, then practice your F as well. You could do that before you even tackle this piece. You could go, all right, well, what chords are in it? And I'll tell you that now. You got an F in it, you got a G in it, you've got an A minor in it. A lot of the times with the A minor, you're just plucking the 2 notes in the middle, open. So A minor is your best friend. But yeah, we've got F. So as the tab says, 2nd fret on your G string, 1st fret on your E string, pluck it or strum it. G chord, sorry. G chord, we've got 2nd fret on our C, 3rd fret on our E, and then 2nd fret on our A. And again, you can pluck it or strum it. And yeah, A minor, nice and easy. It's just 2nd fret on the G string. And there you are, that's all the chords that are going to be used in this. Nice and easy in that respect. It's the stripy things that might make it a little bit tricky, but we'll get there. We will use our ear and we'll get there together. All right. So after that F, we're going to be reaching with our little finger so that we can find the 3. So we're going to go. And then we're going to leave that little finger down so that we can navigate to get into a G chord. And then we take it off when we land. So from the F, nice and slow, I'll go F chord, 3, move over into the G chord, and then this is the harder bit, so I will go nice and slow. So I'm going to use my little finger to play the 3, the stripy 3, coming back to the stripy 2. So the 2 is this one over here, you just can't see it too well. If I spread them out a little bit, can you see it's in there? I promise it's in there. That's my 2 over there. So it's a pull off. I'm plucking here, and then I'm flicking with that little finger. And I'll take off the index and I'll take off the ring so that you can see what exactly is going on there. So I pluck, and then little finger comes off. So you must have the note that you're going to behind it. I hope that makes sense. So I'm going to this note. If I don't have it down, I get this. It's much quieter. Sometimes you don't hear it at all. Now, of course, you might be thinking, now why are you making life harder for yourself, Rose, by leaving down the G chord? It's because I want it to keep ringing. So I've got my G, sorry, I'll go. I think that's quite pretty, otherwise I go. It's okay, but it's, you know, it's a little bit, I don't know, stunted, shall we say. So if I can keep it ringing, I will. If you really can't, it's okay. It's a subtle difference. And you could use stronger fingers, in which case I'd recommend your middle finger and your index. Like so. And then you've got a pair of quavers at the end of bar 2. And again, you could go to the open note instead of the free, but we'll go to that little free there because we're using it again in the next bar. All right, let's see if we can go bar 1 into bar 2. Don't worry too much about rhythms at the minute. I will tidy you up in a minute, but for now, just see if you can follow my fingers, shall we say. I will count you in though, just so you at least start in the right place. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, G chord, flick. I know that was quick, so we'll do it again. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So you can see I'm not even moving for the free, it's a... I pull off the 0 as well, so I go little finger, middle finger, flick the middle finger off so I get the 0, and the 3 is still down, it's this one. But like I said before, you could just pluck the G and do it that way, or so whatever works for you, alright? So that's bar 2, that's probably the hardest rhythm you've got in this, but once you've got it, you've got it, and you can see it repeats across the other lines anyway. So I think mnemonics are going to be your friend for this one, so we'll run that again and I'll talk you through some mnemonics. We'll use coffee, dump tea, we might even do a dump tiddle for our dump tiddle. I think that'll help you out. Okay, so with mnemonics, bar 1 into bar 2, we will go tea, 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 coffee, dump, tea, dump, tiddle, coffee. Good, and we'll do that again. Tea, 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 coffee, dump, tea, dump, tiddle, coffee. All right. The main thing there, and you'll know if you're doing it wrong, is that you've got to make those dumps longer than what comes after them. You could see they're varying lengths, or I hope you can anyway, because one is attached to the stripes basically. So in terms of your actual numbers, you've got the F chord, which is worth 1.5 crotchet or quarter note beats, and then you've got the G chord, which is worth an 8th note and a 16th note. That's confusing for my English brain. A quaver followed by a semi-quaver. So yes, they are, one is shorter than the other one, but they're still longer than what comes after them. So you got to give them time. And you can kind of hear that. So you'll know if you're doing it wrong because you'll go... and it sounds a bit weird and something's slightly wrong, and that's all it is. Alright, so next bar, we're already down because we've had our G chord, so we've already got that 3. We're already ready to go, so we'll go 3. So you just come off, play the 3, come off, and then from there, just those open notes, and then you're back onto the 3. I will say I seem to be hammering on this 0 to 3 today. This is news to me. But just to recap you pluck the string and you throw your left hand down, or your fretting hand, with accuracy. Okay, so it's the opposite of a pull off. Okay, so let's see if we can do that whole line. So from the beginning, and we're starting with T, all right? We've got 3 T's and then a coffee. Here we go. T, 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 coffee, dump. T, dump, tiddle, coffee, dump. T, T, coffee. All right, one last time. Let's go for it. T, 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 coffee, dump. T, dump, tiddle, coffee, dump. T, T, coffee. And hopefully you can feel it pulling you back round again, because it does. It repeats bar 2. And then the only difference is when we get to bar 5, we've just got an A minor on its own. And like I said before, when we were talking about chords, we don't even need the 2 down. It is just the bottom 3. And you can strum it if you prefer. But that note is worth 2 beats, all right? So you've got 2 crotchet note beats there. So it is a half note, there we go. Or a minim to us Brits, it's a minim. It's worth 2. So you go 1, 2, 3, and then you go round again. All right. I'll keep talking about it for the minute and then we'll play it together in a sec. So we'll work on your stamina. So line 3, again, bar 6 is the same as bar 2. And you have a repeat then of bar 3. And that's where I'll stop. So hopefully you can see the first line essentially repeats 3 times. It's just the slightest change on the second line where it's just A minor like that. So it's, once you've got it, I told you, once you got that stripy rhythm, you're good. You are good to go. So we are going to go from line 1 into line 2, then into line 3, but we're not doing the last bar. All right? We will not play that final F. So from the beginning, T, 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 coffee, dump. T, dump, diddle, coffee, dump. T, T, coffee, dump. T, dump, diddle, coffee, shoe. 2, 3, coffee, dump. T, dump, diddle, coffee, dump. T, T. And then stop there. Good. And I would definitely advise that you go back and do that again and you slow it down, you take your time, get happy with it. You'll be happy to know that the ending is so much easier than what you just played. Let's look at bar 8. So we're coming at it from that 3. So we're probably using a ring finger for that, and then we're coming into that F chord, and then little finger on the 3. Probably little finger, just because it's a little bit comfier than that. That feels very awkward in my knuckles on my fretting hand. I don't want like that one. Ah, I know we came from that, but you know, briefly, we're not holding it down. So I will use my little finger, and then we're coming into that shape, that 0 and that 2. So I'd use my index for that one. And I think I do like to do a nice hammer on here. It's a nice strong string on the C string and a strong finger as well, so it feels good. It just feels right. So bar 8 again, we will go T, coffee, T, coffee. All right, let's see if you can do it. I'll count you in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good, all right, and then we'll go into the next bar. So you've got a little grace note here, and it just means play it quickly. So you've got a quick pull off here with the 1 and the 0. So we will just play the string and pull it off. The only difference is we're doing it quickly. You can see it kind of looks like a quaver or an 8th note with a slash through it. And that's when you see these grace notes, and that's what they mean. Just play them quickly, as quick as you can. So that's essentially a T. It's all happening in the time of T. So you go tea, coffee, shoe. And when you get to that F, honestly guys, up to you how long you stay on it. For the sake of writing it into software, I made it worth 2, but you could let it ring on for that full 5, you can let it ring on for as long as you want, and you don't have to do the A minor at the end. That was just so I rounded off the piece. So that is very much up to you, but there's an F chord. And then right at the end of the piece, you're just going to go onto an A minor chord. But try not to catch it like I did, so nice and open, like so. So that last line, I want you to make your own, okay? You do it in your own time because you're feeling the music and you want to convey just that beautiful feeling that this theme gives you. I just love it, I really do. All right, bar 8 into bar 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, tea, coffee, tea, coffee, tea, coffee, shoe. And then, like I said, you can hold on to that for as long as you want. You can scrap this A minor at the end if you want, but for the sake of us playing along with each other, bar 10 into 11 is going to go like this. You're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You now know everything you need to know, so let's just give it a go together. And we're going to carry on going nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you need to, please do rewind that and go over it again, slow it down even more. That's absolutely fine. I know it's a little bit fiddly, especially that. It's going to take some time. Thank goodness it happens on that bottom string. So you've got the downward force to do it. I might try this moving so that you can see that a little bit better. I think that might help some of you out. So I'll do it again and I'll see if I can try and get off the G and move so that you can see exactly what I'm doing. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Super. All right then, so final thoughts. I just want to talk about, because a lot of people ask me about it, what I'm doing with my right hand with this plucking. It's a kind of staggered pluck, I must admit. It's not always just a... Sometimes it is. And I've talked about that already. So fingers towards the palm and then thumb down towards the ground. But if I'm staggering it, I'm doing the same actions but like that, so it's staggered. It's the equivalent of doing that, I'm just doing it faster. So I'll go. And I just quite like it. I don't use it all the time, or if I do I shouldn't, because I'll overkill it. But it works quite nicely on this piece. And then maybe just a straight pluck on the final A minor. I feel like that's more deliberate, more, I don't know, sad. That's what you're sort of going for, bittersweet with this piece. But there you go, I hope that's helped. I know the rhythms are a little bit tricky. I am terrible at counting them out loud and playing them. I freely admit that, which is why we've used mnemonics. So I hope they've helped you. If not, I hope that you could at least see my fingers enough to figure it out yourself. So thanks so much for watching, and hope you enjoy this piece. See you in the next one. Bye!